Welcome to the C&C Connection, an all-in-one podcast that touches upon a variety of topics ranging from sports to TV shows. Here are your hosts, the non-experts on everything, Colin and Corey.
Welcome to C&C Connection. Today it's Corey and Joe because we're talking the Newsroom. It's episode 6 of season 1. The episode is titled Bullies. Joe, what is your initial thoughts on this episode?
I liked it. I thought it was pretty intense. And there's a lot happening there. I thought it was cool the way they had him go to that therapist.
Yep.
I mean, the reason he went was to get sleeping pills because he was having trouble sleeping. But they used kind of that vehicle to for us to learn a lot about him.
Right.
And I just thought it was cool. I thought it was one of the better episodes for sure.
They definitely changed the way they they told the story. I guess there was a lot of flashbacks in this one.
Yeah, it wasn't sequential
That's the right
time.
word. That's the correct word. I should probably know. Yeah, it wasn't in the correct order, I guess. But it was definitely an interesting approach to the way they told the episode. And there wasn't a lot of news going into this one, I guess.
Non-linear. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. I know what you mean. I liked what they did with the financial woman there.
Yep.
He gave her a pep talk to try to get her to confront the guests and call them when they're not telling the truth and have follow-up questions, and that just got her in trouble.
Yeah, she kind of went off the handle there and started speaking Japanese on the air and taking her earpiece off. But I was going into this show and I had some thoughts, and we should have discussed this last week. I feel like they're kind of, because you can only have so many news events, you know?
Yeah.
And they're using up a lot of them.
I was thinking that too. The tsunami, the nuclear reactor in Japan.
They skipped over the tsunami though. They went straight to the nuclear thing.
I know, that's true.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, they're gonna have Obama dying, I'm sure, when we killed Obama. What else happened last year? There was
Osama. I mean,
what did I say? Yeah, that's
he
awful.
said Obama.
That is an awful thing I just said. Oh God, I'm not a typical American.
Anchor people do that all the time.
Yeah, but wow, that's bad. Might have to start over the podcast. But yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, so there's that big news, and then what else happened last year?
They're gonna run out of huge news stories for sure.
The only other thing I can think of is Wall Street. Why am I forgetting this?
Oh, the Occupy.
Occupy Wall Street. That's the word. This
Right.
is not a good. Word is off tonight. Yeah, but after Occupy, there's nothing really going on. What are they gonna do for season 2? You know, are they just gonna make shit up?
Yeah, and I was actually doing the same thing. I was trying to think of what other stories I can come up with, but maybe they'll get more into the election. They went after Rick Santorum, which was interesting, and and he was kind of the bully. They had a black gay dude who was there as a sort of surrogate for Rick Santorum.
Right.
And he was there to talk about the abortion issue, but Will couldn't help but point out the fact that Santorum hates gays and he doesn't have a great record on minorities either. Right. So he just kept hounding them, and
that was a pretty.
I just thought it was intense. I thought the whole episode. I mean, I liked it. I thought it was good. They did a good job on this one.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. I agree. But I was wondering, I don't know. They must have made this guy up, right? The
black dude. Yeah.
Yeah, and then at some point, all right.
Yeah, so he wasn't a real guy. But they played actual clip of Santorum, saying saying, talking about gays and I think I could be wrong, but I think Santorum did have a gay dude like working for him as an advisor.
Yeah, I mean, if it's one thing, it's one thing if it's true, but like if it's not true, then you're just, I don't know. I feel like you're just making up things now to.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, there's plenty of things to go after him on. They didn't have to make up a guy.
Right.
So, and I think now that I think about it, I think they went over the top a little bit on that. I don't think any anchor person would go after somebody like that.
No. I've never really, I don't know, whenever I watch the news, I've never seen an anchor person quite like Will, where he's actually arguing with people, They mostly just, I feel like they're just mediators, if anything.
Right. Right. Well, some of the, sometimes I watch ESPN. ESPN.
Yeah, well, ESPN is the prime news source.
Sometimes I watch MSNBC, is what I was trying to say.
Right.
And Rachel Maddow, if she gets a real conservative person on there, she'll confront them and keep questioning them, but not like that. She doesn't get angry.
Right.
And she doesn't. He was bullying them. He was.
I mean, yeah, it was uncalled for. This guy had nothing to do. He was just trying to get to the Santorum, but obviously that's the point of the clip, was that he was making fun of this guy more than anything,
Yeah, and the one with the financial woman there, I think that was plausible. I mean, I think because she knew those guys were lying to her.
Yeah.
She knew the interpreter wasn't interpreting it correctly, and so I could see, especially somebody filling in and not used to that kind of show.
Yep.
Just getting so frustrated and just freaking out. But the one with Will, I think that was a little bit over the top. I don't think an anchor would do something like that. But
no, I agree. What else happened in this episode?
The engagement ring, I didn't quite get that.
Yeah. Did he the way I took it is he bought it just in case she confronted him about something.
Yeah, so he knew they were doing opposition research on him because they wanted to try to find out if there are any more tabloid stories that are going to come out about him. Mm-hmm. And if it's possible for anybody to dig up anything bad on him. And so he knew they were going to find out that he got an offer from Fox News, and he would have had to move to L.A. And at the time, he was dating Mackenzie.
Yep.
And he would have had to move to L.A. and therefore they wouldn't have been able to be together. And she was using that against him, saying, "You knew, we were never going to get married and have a life together." And so he bought the wedding ring as a defense against her for that. But I'm not sure. I don't understand how it worked, though. Was he saying? Was he trying to make her think he bought that ring back then?
I think so.
And he was going to give it to her, but she cheated on him?
Yeah, I think that's the point they were trying to get across. I mean, it wasn't executed well.
No, it was confusing.
Yeah, there was a couple parts in that, I don't know. Obviously, this doesn't matter at all, but when they were talking in the little conference room with Jim and Maggie about the Eskimos and stuff, I just, it was just so fast and so, unimportant that I was I don't know.
Yeah.
It was just little stuff like that. It just, I don't know. Sometimes they talk too fast with that stupid. I'm kind of getting over the whole Aaron Sorkin writing thing now. The way they talk in this show.
Right.
At first it was fun, but now it's just okay, it's over the top in some parts.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, I still have the same problem I've always had with his dialogue.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just melodramatic and not realistic. But
yeah.
But I do like the stories themselves that they're.
Right.
That they're putting on the air, and
it makes me not like Aaron Sorkin. I just picture him sitting there, having creating these fake conversations, and thinking to himself, "Oh wow, that was a great comeback by her," and just being it's just I don't know.
And then when you see when I read that article that he's fired all his writers and he does all the writing, and kind of makes you think he's just an arrogant sort of guy, but who knows?
No, yeah, I agree. But I'm trying to think of other things. As far as relationships, I kind of took a step back in this episode. I mean, Don had kind of this concern that Jim and Maggie were hitting it off.
Right. Yeah, and I don't think I could care less.
No. Not at all. I mean,
like if something's going to happen and she's going to have an affair with that guy or whatever, then do it and get it over with. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's been played out too long, and everyone know. Like I'll put money down that I know that these two are gonna end up together. You know.
Yeah.
Just like I know, like Will and Mackenzie will too. It's so like predictable.
Oh
in
yeah.
that sense.
Yeah, it's got to be. That's got to be what happens.
Yeah, I mean, there's just like, if I'm wrong, I'll admit it, but like, there's no way that they're gonna not end up together.
Yeah, it might not be till like next season or something, but
yeah,
it's got to happen.
Yep. So we got 4 more episodes left this season. Where do you think this, like news-wise, where do you think this will end?
I don't know. That's a good question. I guess they're in 2011, right?
Mm-hmm. In April.
Yeah, I don't know. To tell you the truth, I don't know where they can go. And I'm trying to think of something huge that happened last year, like towards the end of the year, but I'm just drawing a blank.
All I can think of is Occupy Wall Street.
Yeah, that's about it.
And like even that, like nothing ever came from it, you know. I mean,
yeah. And no, that's it. That's all I can think of.
Yeah, and like what's happened this year, you know? I mean,
right.
I guess the Colorado shooting, but I don't know.
Yeah, that was just this week.
Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago.
But that's why I think they're probably going to focus on the Republican primaries that happened.
That's true. That's a big thing.
In the winter.
Yep.
And maybe Michelle Bachmann and Herman Cain, all those guys that at one point were front runners for the Republican nomination.
So more political kind of news then.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's all they got, really. Yeah, and then there's, like you said, there's Osama being killed, and
so
yeah,
that was huge.
We'll see. But I mean, I think it's weird. I think I want to see more of a balance between because I like hearing about Will's past and I can even tolerate their relationship, Will and Mackenzie.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the reason I like this episode so much is because there was a balance. There was news,
right?
And there was actual events. There was confrontation and drama, and there was also, you got to learn something about the characters, and they became a little more deep and
yeah, I didn't consider that, but you're right. In most episodes, the guys either all news, all relationships, and this was a good balance between all two of them.
Yeah.
But I agree. So yeah, I guess we'll wrap up right now, and so that's it.
All right.
All right. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it's at TheCCConnection. Email us at TheCCConnection@gmail.com. Subscribe to this YouTube channel and leave us some comments below. All right, Joe. Thanks for coming on.
All right. Been a pleasure.
All right. See you later, guys. This is CC Connection signing off.